Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to our channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode we're going to do another unboxing. Uh, this is, by the way, a pinguicula variety that we are going to unbox. And we're going to find out if it's still okay because it has been days since I have received it and opened it. I was too busy. And like I mentioned, it was sent by a local carrier, and it took about 5 to 6 days for me to receive it. Let's see if there are any damages to the plant. It is packaged well, and I think some leaf tips though were damaged. We'll see if that can be fixed. By the way, the box size is 14 inches by 10 inches. So that is the size of the box. The height would be at 7 inches. And it is a big size pinguicula, and we'll see if it's still okay. This is how it was packed. We have a styro, and this is how the plant was positioned. So it is a pinguicula, like I mentioned. So there are I don't know if this was deliberate, but we're going to focus that. I don't know if it's that's clear to you, but that is one of the pinguicula spikes that came out. Might not be it might be longer than box itself. That's why some spikes went out of the box, or they did it purposely so not to damage the spike. So we're going to remove the plant. There is some damage though, but I think it's very minimal. There are styros placed. I requested that the plant would be taken care of because it will be featured on the channel. Alright, so this is, like I mentioned, a pinguicula, and I have no idea if it is subspecies. I have to check again, but this one is a pinguicula disticha, so that is the classification of this type of pinguicula. I'm going to recheck if it's a variety or a subspecies, but it managed to actually there are minor can't be avoided, I guess, because one of the tips bent over. So it doesn't bother me that much though, because I don't know if we can straighten it out, or if it can be still straightened out. This tip also was damaged. That's why it's very hard to buy or purchase pinguiculas, especially if it's not packaged correctly, or the courier would not take care of it, sending it or delivering it, because as I have observed on the box itself, that it was deformed. I'll show you that this part of the box was deformed, so it's kinda squeezed. So that's why sometimes it's not a fault of the sellers, but it's the fault of the courier itself for not taking care of the boxes when they delivering them. So like I mentioned, this is Sansevieria SP or subspecies or variety, I have to recheck that. Probably I'll just have to update the ID on the title itself, whether it's a variety or subspecies. But what's distinct about disticha is that the leaves will arc uh, inwards rather than a normal pinguiculas that arc outward. So notice that the leaf would arc inwards just like that. It's arcing inwards. This one, supposedly it's supposed to arc inwards, but there is some damage on the box. That's why it tilted uh, to the outside rather than normally the leaves would arc inside for Sansevieria fa disticha. So this is one type of Sansevieria. I'm not sure if the pinguicula unicorn came from this variety or subspecies of pinguicula, but fa distichas, fa means false and disticha means fan form. So it's false fan form. It's almost, it would look like disticus in form, but it's not, because only some of the offsets would tend to grow fan shape in form, but mostly it will revert to being spiral in form rather than fan shape. That is why it's called fa disticha. It's almost fan shaped though. If you look, I don't know if you can look at the plant correctly, because there are leaves that are, it's beginning to take a spiral form rather than the disticus form or fan shaped form. That's why I'm wondering if Sansevieria pinguicula unicorn came from Sansevieria fa disticha. So I guess this is it for the first part. The second part is we're going to replant it. So like I mentioned, I don't usually encourage brown tapes or scotch tapes when wrapping the roots or the plant itself, because it is very hard to remove, especially what I'm showing you right now. It might rip out the rooting system itself. So that's why I don't recommend, like I mentioned, I don't recommend scotch tape when you're packing plants. See what I mean? Because it will damage the roots. So please do not use scotch tape. I would use a very slim paper tape, because they're easier to rip off, and it would prevent any damages from repacking. So this is, like I mentioned, was taped together with scotch tape, and like I said, it's very hard to remove scotch tape from the package. So we'll have to be careful and try to figure out how this was taped together, because like I said, it's very annoying to unpack packages that are packed with scotch tapes. Alright, so we'll see if we can just rip out the tissues. But like I said, I really don't recommend scotch tapes, because it will make it very hard for you to unwrap the moment that you use scotch tapes on the root system. You might accidentally break one of the roots because of it. So there you go. We're almost done, and I might have to rip it, because I don't know how the root system was taped together. And there we go. We managed to remove the package from the tape, and I'm checking the roots, because some of them have already died out, so you have to remove it. From here, I'm using a nail nipper because it's sharper and it's easier for you to remove the roots that have died out. So it's just one root that removed. It was unhealthy. This one's unhealthy too. You will know because if you try to squeeze the roots, they're not fleshy anymore. So that means they have dried out. So they're useless. They will just rot. So better for you to remove the roots that have wilted out. This is one of the roots that have wilted out. There's nothing in it. There's no flesh. If you try to remove it, those are just dried fibers. So I'd rather remove them than include them on your potting mix. So I guess this is how it's planted. I'm checking some of the roots. They're still healthy. They're still thick. I'm checking out for the unhealthy roots because we just have to remove them. They're useless anyway, and they will just cause rot. So we're done unpacking the Sansevieria disticha. I just got this, and we're going to replant it in a bit. So I'll have to show you the second part wherein it's already planted and ready to go. All right, so I'll be back in a bit, and we'll start repotting this plant. Alright folks, so we're back and this is the second part wherein we will try to pot the newly received pinguicula. And I guess some people are really interested with regards to the potting mix that I do for our Sansevierias in the garden. So actually it's very simple. And for me, I don't really rely on the potting mix to make my plant healthy. For me, it's more about positioning and how you water them every day, when to water them. But we will discuss that on a different episode or different content. But right now, for those who are interested, because some folks are really asking, what is your potting mix? Why is it a secret? So just to clarify, it's not a secret. I don't really rely on the potting mix to make the plant healthy. There is some fertilizers that I apply to them though, and watering techniques that I do. But with regards to potting mix, I'm just doing a simple potting mix. So what I do is that on the bottommost portion, I would put the bigger pumice stones. I'm using pumice stones, by the way, and this is a branded type of pumice stone. It's from Ramgo, and the size of the one that I'm using right now. This is a standard size because usually I would use bigger sizes of pumice stones as big as this one, but this one is readily available in the market, so that's what I'm using right now. Like I mentioned, for me, I would usually use the bigger ones if the plant is or Sansevieria is already as big as this one. But if you don't have them, then whatever is available for you. But for me, I always use pumice stones, and I would mix 70%. I think this is already mixed, but we're going to have to add because I don't think that's sufficient enough. So we're going to add more pumice stones until I almost filled this other container, wherein it's almost the same size as the pot wherein we're going to transfer it to. So pumice is almost 70% or half full, or one, I would say 3/4 of this container, and it's the container is 400 grams. So folks, you do the math for it. This is compost by the way, and I'm just going to use about a small part of it. I'm going to use about 10%, I think, of the 200 grams that I've shown you, or 400 grams, I'm sorry. This is a 400 gram container, so whatever is 1/4, or sorry, 10% of the this 400 gram container. So 10% is potting mix, 70% is pumice. Maybe add a little of this, by the way, is food grade carbon. It's used, it's used in water filters, so that's the grade of the carbon that I'm using, and you just need a handful of it and mix it with your pot. So there you go, that's the additives that I add on. This one is dried eggshells, so I'm going to put a handful of it. Oh, sorry, that was my glass fell down again. Alright, so there you go. This is what exactly is, or what usually would be the potting mix that I use. Just shake it thoroughly. There you go, there. Shaken thoroughly, and everything is mixed up. And I think we can do the replanting for this Sansevieria fa disticha. So if you just tuned in again, fa means false, and disticha means fan shape. So what you see right in front of you right now is almost fan shaped, but it's beginning to be spiraled. That's why they are referred to as false, because they don't stay fan form or fan shape in maturity. So there are times that they will grow, some offsets will grow fan shaped, but some offsets would just be spiraling, or just grow this arcing leaves, arcing inwards for Sansevieria fadisticha. So we're going to add the soil mix. Actually, it's easier if I just pour the other container to the pot itself. So there you go. Just make sure that you don't damage the leaf tips while you're doing it. Alright, so there you go. The Sansevieria is now standing on its own. It's able to balance itself. So we're just going to fill out the remainder of the pot. Alright folks, so usually that would be my potting mix. Then the rest would be a systemic pesticide that I will mix into the potting mix that I poured, and then some slow release fertilizers, NutriCoat or Osmocoat. That's what I would usually add, but that's done, and that's how the plant would look like. And we're going to see if we can I can position the camera so you can see how it is, or how tall it is. So there you go, that's fa disticha. The leaves would be arcing inwards rather than leaves arcing outwards. Those are the regular pinguiculas. Pinguicula dagger looks like that, or pinguicula subspecies nana, or variety. I think subspecies would be what I recalled it to be. So this is Sansevieria subspecies fa disticha. It means false disticha because at times they will grow leaves in a fan-shaped form, But right now what I have is already becoming spiraling in form, so it's no longer going to be fan shaped. There are times that they will grow fan shaped, like I mentioned. And I think I'm done here. For additional observation, we can actually measure the leaf size because I have already presented the long leaf pinguicula. So this one is actually longer than the long leaf pinguicula that I have. It's having leaf size or leaf length at 10 inches. So that's 10 inches, 9 inches. This one, the older leaves, the first ones to grow with it is 5 inches. So if I recall correctly, the pinguicula long leaf in the market that I already featured is shorter than the one that I am presenting to you. So those are the measurements. The leaf tips are still the same. Pinguicula's leaf tips, by the way, would be around 1 inch. And I think I can measure the thickness of the leaves rather than the width, because it's rather thick than being flat leaf. Sansevieria, it's a fleshy leaf for pinguiculas, and it can only be measured by the thickness, and the thickness would be at 26.3. That's one leaf. We'll check the other ones. Other ones would be at 32.2. So that's how thick the Sansevieria pinguicula disticha are. And then on the upper leaf, it would be flat, looks like leaf canals, and the backside of the leaf are like round or cylindrical, but the front ones are flat. So texture wise, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's a little rough, and then the front part of or the canal are smooth to the touch. So I think that is all that I can add before we end this content. So if you folks have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like the content that I have created, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and you have a great day.